I'm Biesiada, and this is my recorded mini lesson. Okay? Today what we're going to talk about is how to get out of a wrist hold and maybe several other, types of holds. Okay? Let's start with the very basics of a wrist hold. My partner's going to reach out and grab my hand here. Okay? When he does this, what I want to do is escape from the situation. So the very first thing I need to do is identify where the thumb is. That's the weakest point of the grip. We want to put all our pressure against the thumb. The simplest way to do this is to take our hand and simply turn it upside down. If you turn it into the thumb, it'll come up. No, grip tight, grip tight. Yeah, there you go. Grip real tight like you want to. Now once I get here, it's basically broken out. Notice that my hand is open. I want to keep my fingers together so they don't get caught on anything. The worst thing that happens is have a finger catch on clothing and break it. So keep fingers together, keep my hand flat, and turn. I want to use the pivot of this hand to unlock that thumb, and then that will come right back out. Grip it real hard for me. Okay, when he grips real hard, you might find that if you're at a bent angle, it's very hard to do this. So there's two schools of thought. One is to grab a hold of your hand, help it along until it's undone, or if you want to keep your hand straight, let go for a second, imagine like you're pushing a lawnmower. When you're pushing a lawnmower, you go to turn the lawnmower, you keep the arm straight and turn the mower itself. You don't pull it in and then try to wiggle it around. So here, grab a hold. I want to keep my arm lawnmower straight, and I'm going to turn it around until it unlocks, and then step away from my opponent. But let's say he's really into getting away, or getting a hold of me, and I'm really into getting away. Once that's happened, if I'm of a smaller build than my opponent, let's say I weigh less, or I simply don't have the upper body strength that happen, do not keep the hand flat. Instead, grip the hand into a fist, grip your own fist, and what you'll do is initiate a release and move away. So, step back with the opposite foot, and you're going to take your whole body weight to pull your opponent forward, and then use your wrist to pull against the thumb. You're going to step forward when this happens, just body the weight release, okay? There we go. Now, that is not super safe, because whenever you're doing this, you want to make sure you're covering your other body in case he tries to punch me, because no one grabs you without the intent of punching you. Raise your hand like you'd like to punch me. Okay? Pick it up real hard. Yeah, you're scared. Good. All right. Now, when this happens, I'm going to cover myself if I'm doing this. Grab again. If I'm going to have to do step away, I can't cover myself, so I have to move my body away, pull out. Now, my whole body's going to do this. Pulling out, and then I'm going to take off the other direction. Okay? Just as quick as I can. That's easy. Let's see the other side. Just for clarification, now the camera can see this side. I'm going to keep my hand straight, guard my side in case he throws a punch at me, and turn and release. All right? If he has a strong grip or I can't handle that first part, I'm going to take my whole weight. My whole weight is going to push back, and that's going to come loose, and I'm going to take off the other way. Grab with both. Let's say I'm in this bad position. Okay? There's a couple of schools of thought here. If you can do both of these, that's fantastic. If not, grab both hands together and pull them into your chest. You can pull your chest in and then back up. That'll help if you can't do it just by pulling them up and out by yourself. Okay? All right. Okay, let go. Let's do one more. This is a real fun one. Okay? You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. I love to do the hair grab. Okay? I know. I don't have to worry about it, but it's my favorite ones. But if someone grabs you by your hair on top of your head, okay? No one wants that because it hurts. Leave it alone. Stop messing. All right. Grab on top of my hair like you would, if I had hair, grab on top of it. Okay, let's say I'm being drugged and I have hair, okay? The important thing to remember is the weak point here is the wrist. You want to grab and hold their hand to your head as tightly as possible. Step back and bend their wrist down until you're putting pressure on the wrist, okay? Now this might hurt a little bit, correct? Okay. Then you press forward and bend the wrist in and press your head into their stomach, okay? I'm not going to go a whole lot because it'll hurt the wrist. But the idea here is to take that wrist, that hand, trap that hand tight, and then bend that wrist and push it in until that wrist gives pop. Okay? That's just the back. I might have time for one more. Let's do one more just in case I would cut one out. All right. I want you to go ahead and grab my shoulders. Just give me the old, the classic bear grab. You're going to listen to what I have to say. That's the interesting thing about this is always the psychology. When people do this to you, they're imposing their will upon you, and you want to avoid that. To get out of this is real simple. Take one hand and shoot it straight out. Lift, and then take and turn that shoulder in towards your opponent. It'll always effect a release, okay? Now, do it again. If I want the release on the other side, I simply raise, turn it into my opponent. Now, let's say I don't want this guy to punch me when I'm trying to leave, so let's do it again. Let's see one advanced technique here, okay? My advanced technique is simple. Raise it. I'm going to reach over and grab. Once I grab, then once I have both the hands, I will initiate the release, okay? Good with that?
Yeah.
You learning stuff?
Yeah.
Good. All right, grab me one more time. Let's look at it from the other side. It'll be harder to see, but everybody should see both sides. I lift, and I'm going to turn my shoulders and my whole body. More mass, more force, more acceleration on the other side. Turn and grab. As soon as I've got both things, he's going to try and pull his arms back. Go ahead. Boom. I come with the fist after that, maybe the elbow. A little something, something, okay? Because no one's going to want, grab again. No one's going to want to be where they are, okay? No one's going to, so he's going to pull. When he pulls, I follow through, and I'm the guy who wins the fight and runs away, okay? Good?
Yeah.
Thank you. This has been my lesson. Have a great day.